Hello everyone. In this session, we start new article galvanometer from 12th standard current electricity chapter. Now, what is galvanometer first? Basically, galvanometer is a current detecting device. It is used to detect current. So you can see an internal structure of the galvanometer in a diagram. So here, this galvanometer have ability to detect the weak current also. It detect weak current also. So it has two types. Basically, galvanometer having two types. First one is pivoted coil and second one is suspended coil. Means here we can say that galvanometer is classified into two types. Pivoted coil type galvanometer and suspended coil type galvanometer. Now in pivoted type, coil is pivoted between the two poles of strong horseshoe type concave poles of a magnet. And in suspended coil, again, coil is suspended by a fiber between two concave poles of strong horseshoe type magnet. So that is the difference between these two. So you can see this type of magnet, concave magnet. So concave magnet is used because to provide a radial magnetic field. As this coil, you can see this coil, when the coil deflect, then also the magnetic field related to this coil is constant. And to provide a constant magnetic field here, we are using radial magnetic field, or we can use a concave poles here. So here, when an electric current passes through the coil, it deflects. So here, this is a working principle here. The deflection is proportional to the current passing through the coil. So we can say that if I represent current by I and deflection of the coil by theta, then I means current proportional to theta. This is the working principle of galvanometer. Now we have to learn a article galvanometer as an ammeter. If you see the external structure of the galvanometer and ammeter, you can see both are exactly similar. Only the thing is inside the ammeter, A is written, means unit is written, MA, if it is in milliampere, then it is written. Inside the galvanometer, we can see this pointer is at 0 and both the side we can see the deflections. So, but they are looking similar. Now the question is, can we convert this galvanometer into the ammeter? They are looking similar, their principle is also similar, then the answer is yes, we can convert galvanometer into the ammeter. Now, how we convert that we have to learn in this article. Now here, to convert a moving coil galvanometer or galvanometer basically. So why it is called as moving coil? Because coil is moving between the two poles of the magnet. So it is called as moving coil. One more type of the galvanometer is there. Okay, so that we are not covering here. We have to cover moving coil only. So this moving coil galvanometer, we have to convert into the ammeter. Then which modifications are necessary? We have to do the such modification which serve some purposes. So here, the first point here, the effective current capacity must be increased. We have to do the modification in such a way that it increases the current capacity. Then second one is the effective resistance must be decreased. Second one is effective resistance must be decreased. Why we have to decrease the effective resistance? Because we are connecting this galvanometer, means basically ammeter, into in a series with the resistance. If this is resistance R and you want to measure a current flowing through this, then you have to connect ammeter in series with this. So it must has a lesser resistance, because if this galvanometer having a larger resistance, then this resistance is added in this external resistance R. So to avoid this, we have to give a lesser resistance, means effective resistance we have to decrease. Ideally, ammeter have a zero resistance. Ideal resistance of the ammeter is 0. Now after that, the third purpose is it must be protected from possible damage. So we have to do the such modification in the galvanometer such which protect the coil from the possible damage. Then all these purposes are served, and all these three purposes are served by connecting a low resistance in parallel with the coil of the galvanometer, and that low resistance is called as shunt. Means in simple way we can say that all the purposes are served by connecting a low resistance shunt parallel to the coil of galvanometer. So you can see here, this is a connection, means circuit diagram for this ammeter. So this is a galvanometer. You can see this G for galvanometer, and this is the external resistor R, whose current we have to measure. Then to this coil of the galvanometer, we are connected very a low resistance in parallel. So when we connected low resistance in the parallel, this G and S, this combination resistance, because of this parallel combination, the total resistance of this combination is lesser. So we are doing this arrangement here. Now, I consider this is total current passing through this external resistor is I. Then I is split up at this point into two branches. IG is passing through G, and IS is the current through shunt. Okay. Then let we learn here some mathematics of this. Now you can see G and S, they both are parallel. So they are parallel. So potential across these two is same. So we can write here potential across G is equal to potential across G is equal to potential across S. But by Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So I can write VG as a G into IG. Resistance for galvanometer we are written by capital G, and current through galvanometer is IG. So we can get capital G into IG. By Ohm's law, Vs I can write S into IS. S is the resistance of this shunt, and IS is the current flowing through this shunt. So we get this. Now here, by Kirchhoff's law to this junction, we can write I is equal to IG plus IS, Kirchhoff's current law. So I can use here IS we can write here by using this formula. IS is equal to I minus IG. So this formula we have to use here. So instead of this IS, we use I minus IG. Then we get this formula, G into IG is equal to S, I minus IG. Now let me simplify this equation, and we can write it for S. So for S, we get this formula. S is equal to IG upon I minus IG into G. And this is expression for shunt. And by using this, we can find out how much value of the shunt required to keep a proper range of the galvanometer, means ammeter. Or in another way, you can say that this formula is useful to calculate the range of the current the galvanometer can measure. Means if you have idea, means range of the current I we can measure. So by using this. So I hope you understood this mathematics about this. This formula you have to remember. So question may be asked in the problem, how much shunt is needed to keep a range of 10 ampere? Then you have to use this formula. Then I you have to use 10, and then IG accordingly they are given in a problem. Then the resistance of the galvanometer is also given. Now after that, let me learn some modification in the same formula. If this I is equal to N into IG, means whatever the total current is, N times the current passing through the galvanometer. Then the formula of the shunt, you know that this is the formula of the shunt. Now in that formula, we substitute I is equal to N into IG, and we simplify it. So I substitute here, you can see N into IG. Then IG we can take common, and as we take IG common, here, then N minus 1 is in bracket, and this IG and this G. This IG get cancelled, so we get G upon N minus 1. So this is the shunt. Means you remember this modified formula for the MCQs. If the current through the galvanometer is, means this current, total current is n times the current through the galvanometer. Means this relation you have, then you can directly use this formula to obtain the value of shunt. Similarly, case 2 we can learn. Case 2 is if Is is the current through shunt. You know that Is is the current through shunt. Then I minus Is is the current through galvanometer. You know that I is equal to, we have a formula, I is equal to Ig plus Is. So Is is the current through shunt. So current through galvanometer is then I minus Is. So that we have. So we can use this formula. Again, they are in parallel, so G into Ig is equal to this. Now in that we can substitute this, Ig is equal to, if I substitute Ig is equal to this, then we get this formula, we substituted Ig. Then we simplify the equation. So G multiplied by I and G multiplied by Is, so we get this term. Then we write this formula for G into I. So SIS plus G into Is is equal to this. So by using that we can write Is by I. So we can take here Is common. So Is we are taken common. So S plus G is equal to G into I. So by using that we are written Is by I. So G upon S plus G. So this is a formula for fraction of current passing through shunt. So this is expression for fraction of total current through shunt. So in problem question may be asked, find out fraction of current passing through shunt, then you have to use this formula. Similar manner, you can obtain fraction of current passing through galvanometer also. Now how we obtain? Now let's see here. Now in this formula, I substituted Ig. Now instead of Ig, I can substitute Is. So you know that I is equal to Ig plus Is. So I can write Is is equal to I minus Ig. So this we can substitute here. So we get G into Ig is equal to S in a bracket I minus Ig. And in similar step, we can perform and we can find out Ig by I. And that time we get Ig by I is equal to S upon S plus G. And this is a fraction of current passing through this galvanometer. You can do the similar step. So you can multiply this S into the I, S into Ig, and then you can write Ig by I. So it is written on the next step. You can see here. So similar manner, fraction of current passing through galvanometer, we can write by similar step and we get this formula. So you remember here, if it is fraction of current through galvanometer, Ig by I, then S is coming here. If it is Ig is coming here, then S is coming here. So if it is Is by I, then Is is up, so G is coming here, G upon S plus G. So this part S plus G is common in both the formulas, only here G and here it is S. Anyhow, you have to remember these two formulas, fraction of current passing through this galvanometer and a shunt.